So we got here about a week ago, give or take, and it's been very exciting. It's definitely something that's been on my list to come back here. I left when I was 9 years old, went to Germany for 5 years, and then later went to the US, and so I haven't been back since. At 46, it's changed quite a lot. Before there was a lot of homes, a little bit less apartments, traffic was a lot milder. We definitely did not have all of this kind of Western influence as far as the writing. So now you can see a lot of restaurants and bars with like American names, which is very cool. I really enjoy that. Um, the atmosphere in Tehran is very calm in the sense that everybody's kind of like just doing their thing, very chill. Nobody's really freaking out about anything. And I think that goes to show you people who have a lot of instability tend to develop a lot of stability in their lives, especially given the fact that there's a lot of political issues going on. Financially, there's a huge problem with inflation here. So that's kind of one of the things that they deal with. It was important for me to come here and kind of understand how they run things, how do they live. On a day-to-day basis, it's kind of very similar to us, except the Iranians here have more of a culture of kind of like that that Eastern philosophy, kind of like the European mentality. Things kind of move slowly. Everybody walks slowly. Nobody's really rushed. Um, for example, people will sit and eat for quite a long time. There's a lot of social get-togethers. Families will get together after work. Even when it's super trafficy, people try to get together. That's not always the case. Quite a lot of people are now kind of just staying home, ordering in. There's a system here, kind of beats Uber, uh, beats it up pretty bad because Snap, SNAP or PP, is basically a system where you can get anything done. For example, just right now, my girlfriend is staying, so I'm staying in this apartment, which I'll tell you about. My girlfriend's staying with her mom, who has her own apartment in a different part of town in Tehran, and it takes a long time to get everywhere because the traffic is crazy. And you just hire a motorcycle to kind of deliver your stuff. So, for example, I just paid 33 cents US dollars, or 20,000 toman to deliver something that she needed from here to her house. And it's like 11 p.m. here. And people are still awake. 11 p.m. is nothing here. People start going out like later in the evening when the sun goes down, temperature is better, traffic is milder, they start socializing. When I was coming up from the gym tonight, everything was open, restaurants and everything. They have kind of a bar system here. Obviously, there's no alcohol, but the bars here are kind of their cafes and coffee shops, and the juice stops where you get ice cream and juices, all different types of juices. So like their cocktails, their mocktails are ridiculous. Like they got that shit down pretty good. It's fun. It's very fun. Communicating my Farsi is pretty good. من میتونم خوب فارسی حرف بزنم، اکسنت هم خیلی بد نیست، اما این لغت های بعضی از لغت ها رو بلد نیستم. مثلا نمیتونم بگم به جای اکسنت بگم نمیدونم اون لغت چیه. سو بعضی وقت مثلا آدم خیلی خوب میفهمن که من فارسی نمیتونم حرف بزنم. Basically, I just said that I speak Farsi pretty well. Like if somebody listened to me, they would say, "Oh, this guy's probably Persian." But I throw in English words because I just don't know what they might be, like the word accent, and so they go like, "Oh, this guy's a fucking foreigner." So that's interesting. People are very friendly, very nice. As far as Snap, I was also going to say that so you can get a car ride for like 20-30 minutes, costs very little, like $1 or $2. Uber for 20-30 minutes, it's probably about $35 plus tip. Here is not much of a tip system, at least not yet. I think it's growing. And you can get a nurse to come to your house, give you IV. You can get a nurse to come here, give you all sorts of injections. You can get a doctor to come to your house. These are all very normal things to do here, which I know is very different for us in the US. The healthcare system, I'm going to do another episode on that. It was pretty wild. You can listen to the podcast episode. I talked about it a little bit, but it's pretty difficult to listen because I recorded it while walking in traffic. I wanted to because I wanted people to hear what it sounds like. Working here has been brutal, has been an absolute nightmare for me. I'll tell you that. Um, I just obviously, you know, the internet connection here is very difficult, and not only is the internet connection bad, You need a lot of VPNs to access stuff. A lot of the things that I access in the US, normally my own website, where I need to make edits all the time, I can't access it. There's something called Cloudflare. It's kind of like a third-party traffic thing for the internet, and they block you if you're from Iran. And so you need a VPN, but then when you use the VPN shuts down, meaning like it cycles, it's no longer, too many people get on it, and then the VPN shuts down, and then you get kicked off. You sometimes don't know you got kicked off, so you're writing something, it disappears. That's pretty tough. It's pretty tough to make do. The internet connection here is not that great. I don't know how people do it. I mean, I suppose you could pay a lot and get a really good internet, but it goes out sometimes. Electricity hasn't gone out yet, but I'm sure it will. Yeah, so I'm still trying to figure out the internet. Pretty much dial-up. Worse than dial-up. Because you also get the interruption. Like I was trying to do a WhatsApp call. You can't access WhatsApp. You need a VPN. Same with Facebook and Instagram. And the call was just not going through on WhatsApp. So yeah, that's pretty tough because I run my business on WhatsApp, but I'm also learning that I need to start thinking outside the box and using alternatives. And I already found a couple of alternatives to communicate with my patients. As far as where I'm staying in a beautiful apartment by a gentleman who is, it's my girlfriend's uncle, who's a huge he's in the art scene, he's in the photography scene, and like he's built this really beautiful basement. It's unbelievable. If I showed you the whole thing, it's just mind-blowing. And then there's a bunch of apartments above us, and pretty much our entire family lives in all these apartments here. It's kind of cool. It's a very interesting thing. So pretty much the stairways is common area. Doors are open. The cat goes up and down wherever he wants. It's very cool. So yeah, the internet is tough. Everything's cheap though, so you can get in like 15 gigabytes for like $5, $10. But yeah, those things are tough. Rock climbing gym is super cheap, like $2. Food's cheap, $3-4 for like really good food, or $1 for like $2 for a sandwich, $1 for a piece of bread. And that's the thing, like it's incredible how cheap certain things are and how kind of expensive certain things are for here. Homes are expensive, at least $150,000 for a decent apartment, $500,000 for a very nice apartment, $50,000 for not so great apartment, and this is dollars. So you can imagine we're talking about $1 billion, $5-6 billion toman that you have to gather. It's really difficult, and they don't give loans here like other countries. So here they'll give you 10%. So if you come up with 90, they'll give you 10. What people usually do is they'll get 50% from one friend, 20% from another friend, 30% from themselves, then they find a 10% from the bank, and that's an atrocious interest rate, apparently. That's what they say. I thought in Islam you can't do interest rates, but the fuck I know. Water is fine. It's not like Mexico, so there's a water thing. Municipal water supply, electricity, pretty standard. Gas, yeah, they use a lot of gas. Sewage system, a few years ago they used the sewage system. A lot of people kind of complained that the sewage system went from septic tanks to an entire underground sewage system, which then got rid of the water table under the earth, under the entire country, and that supposedly dried up a lot of the farms or trees or something like that. So that's kind of what I heard. I'm trying to not be political. I'm just kind of mentioning what people say when you take snap rides with them. Pretty chill as far as like the way you dress and stuff like that. Generally, men will wear short sleeve. A lot of people might wear long sleeve. Women head cover and stuff like that. Smoking, and pretty much all the restaurants are smoking unless it's like super closed, but that's pretty brutal. Can't tell you. I mean, already the smog level, the air pollution level, like you walk anywhere on the street, that's all you smell is car exhaust. At least it's not like diesel, but it's pretty close to it. I mean, if you drive on the freeway, the truck will go by. I don't think any of these have catalytic converters. I don't think any of these have any kind of recirculating system in their car. So it's pretty rough. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing here. And I'm going to try to do this for the next 30 days. And 3 months, we'll see how that goes. Figuring out the money, a co-working space, maybe go to the library tomorrow, try to work from a coffee shop, because I can't work here. I mean, there's no internet. Essentially, it's useless. If I do go stay like in a friend's house and try to work there, they're not gonna let you work. They're gonna want to socialize with you, and I need to focus. So I got to figure that out. I walk around a lot. I took the subway system. They have a very good subway system. It gets really packed. They have a bus system, which I haven't figured out yet. I got my cell phone. It's crap. It doesn't. Iran Cell is the SIM card that I have. They don't have eSIM here. I haven't been able to open a bank account, so I can't pay for shit. I'd have to carry like this wad of cash on me if I was going to do my daily stuff because there's so much inflation. Yeah, the card with the phone, I can't get a hotspot, so I got to figure that out. Just got to change the phone essentially. I bought 3 phones because I knew this was going to happen. So a whole other complicated system with the phones. You can only use it for 30 days in Iran. After 30 days, it shuts off based on the IMEI number. So you have to register it, which you have to do at the airport, but I did that already, so I have to just pay for it. Yeah, guys, it's cool. You just got to figure it out. If you're going to be a digital nomad physician and you're going to travel around the world and do your work, some of these logistics are things to worry about. And then you get accustomed to it, and then you go back home, and all of a sudden you're like, what? And I'm about 11 and a half hours ahead. So that is, if you can imagine, at 5 a.m., it's 5 p.m. here. At 5 p.m., it's 5 a.m. there. So trying to connect with West Coast times is very difficult. And those are some of the things I got to do with my patients, with my coaching, consulting, all of the stuff that I do. But you figure it out. You definitely come up with very interesting, unique ways of doing it. So check out digitalnomadphysician.com. My course is back up, guys. You got to buy that course, man. There's no other online course to start your own online medical practice, your own virtual practice. There's nothing like it out there. Nothing is thorough. I've looked at other courses. I haven't bought them, but I've looked through their content. No way they're going to be as thorough as mine. I have 2 versions. I have the self-paced version, super fast, go through it, it's cheaper. And then I have the one where you're going to get a lot more details and you're going to get to interact with me the whole time as you're taking the course. So I hope you take the course. Go to my website, digitalnomadphysician.com, top right, online course. Check it out. Take care.